what's the role of the man for his family? Let's talk about that first.
Well, the first role of men for a family is to be a husband. You know, in Ephesians, it talks about husbands loving your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. And so, a leader and a lover in Ephesians, you summarize it, a man is called to be the leader of his wife. That's not a dictator, not a dictator, a leader and a lover, and to serve and nurture the wife. And the wife is to be the respecter of his leadership and the responder to his love. And so that's really the foundation. And we're in a place now, as you mentioned, the foundations of even sexual identity are being shaken, and where men don't know if they're men or not, and they don't know if they're women don't know if they're men or women, and it's a lot of confusion. But God did make uh, mankind male and female, and He called. He said, he took a look at Adam. He said, it's not good for him to be alone. I will make a helper comparable to him, meet for him, it says in the old King James. So someone to be alongside him, to be with him, that together, I think it's Peter that talks about that they would be heirs of life together, and a oneness. And so that's really the foundation of a man's role as a husband. And then you get into the fatherhood. It says, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's old, he shall not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. And then uh, fathers in Ephesians 6, I think it's 1 through 4, don't discourage your children, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. So sometimes what's happened is men have relegated the raising and training of children to the wife. And yes, the mother has a definite role in training and nurturing the children, but the husband is to take the leadership in that role, not as a dictator, not as an iron fisted, well, you're going to do it my way or else, and I'm the leader here and I'm the head and you got to submit to me no matter what I do. That's not the spirit of Christ. So it's a working together with husband and wife in that role of nurturing family.
I think too in the Proverbs it says that the glory of the child is their father. And so the opposite of glory is shame. And so when children don't have a father in the home to look up to, maybe they're abandoned, there's a divorce, or their father is not their hero. I mean, I believe he needs to be their hero, at least in some element. I mean, whether he's a righteous man, they can look to him and see he's a righteous man, or he's an accomplished man. They have to somehow see him as their protector, their hero, so that they're not alone and afraid. And because children are vulnerable as well, and so they need that protection. A lot of men don't see themselves as valuable in their roles. I really believe they've abdicated to the wife. I think that because of the amount of anxiety and pressure, the man is thinking all I have to do is make the money, and she'll do the rest. And you're right. And the other thing is the flip of that is when men are not really satisfied or satisfying the role as a leader, as the protector, as you said, the leader and protector, they then become upset with themselves, and they're vulnerable to the attack of the enemy, who's always there to say you should have, could have done it better, done it different, you didn't do it right, you're not making enough money, whatever it is, whatever's not perfect in their situation, they take the responsibility for it, and they become vulnerable to being attacked by the enemy for not having provided enough money, or building a better house for their wife. And so the men, as they become discouraged, and the wife, then she doesn't really know sometimes how to build him up. And you go back to what you said about the helper. The wife is to be the helper. I think that means to also to be the encourager. Men need to be encouraged. Everybody seems to look at the thing that's wrong. Well, we need more of this, the spot on the shirt, not the whole shirt. Well, it's the spot, it's this, it's not there yet. We're not doing it right. You got to do more of this. And so this becomes very difficult for a man, because men are set up on kind of a different frequency, I think, than women. They have more of an ego that needs to be respected. I think they need the respect. Women need the love and the assurance, but men need the respect. And so when women are feeling anxious or not provided for, they're not respecting the man, then it's just kind of a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.